Hey everyone, it's me, David again. I'm doing one final run for this before I am on my way. So this is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons: Death Knights of Krynn. It's part of the Gold Box series of AD&D games created way back in the early '90s for DOS. Maybe if you've played it before, you're familiar with Pool of Radiance. Well, this is the second game in the Dragonlance series. And since it's Dungeons and Dragons, you create your own party to go along on an adventure. Uh, Create 6 characters, well, up to 6. Pick your race, maybe you're human, and you pick your class: cleric, fighter, mage, thief, ranger, knight, or paladin. But I've already created. Uh-oh, that's not the correct save. Um, let me just go ahead and quit out of this and then get back in. I accidentally loaded the wrong save. But I have a pre-established party. Okay, load saved game. J. This game does have an import system that allows you to import from the previous game, which is kind of neat. Okay, so you're allowed up to 6 characters in your party, but I'm actually only going to be using 5. And the main reason for that is you have to divide experience among party members, and so you need to make sure every party member has a use. So let's go over my party really quick before I begin. I have three characters in the front row. They are human fighters. Humans are usually the best at single class stuff. My timer's in the way. They're usually the best at single class stuff. They can hit maximum levels in any class, but they can only be one class at a time. All 3 of my front line are fighters. That is not what I want to do. And the main reason for that is because fighters require less experience to level up than any other class. But I have also created some extra clerics because fighters by default start with a long sword, a shield, and a plate mail. But I actually want my fighters to be using maces because your primary mook for this run is skeletons, and skeletons take half damage from swords. So I'd rather be using maces. Anyways, my front line is fighters. I have 2 characters in the back line. They are multi-class. Elves are the best multi-class mages, so both of these guys are cleric red mages. Mages have different robes based upon their alignment. Good mages are white robed mages, neutral ones are red mages, evil ones are black mages. You are not allowed to play any evil characters in this campaign. But yeah, 2 cleric red mages because red mage buffs are very, very useful, and the cleric's turning ability and healing spells are also useful. Also, sorry, the entire party's male because males have a higher strength cap than females in this game. I'm very sorry. This game's sexist. So really quick, my human males are 18 years old, and my elves are 350 years old. There's a spell I'm going to be using frequently called Haste, which is very powerful, but comes with a disadvantage in that my characters age up every time I use it. I don't think it actually has any end-game effects, but if you want to play a game, try to guess how old my characters are going to be at the end of this run. So I'm going to go ahead and start in 3, 2, 1, go. My timer didn't start. Hold on a sec. I'm going to change this timer setting really quick. Okay, good. Timer started. So it's been about a year since the events of the previous game. There's a gathering to celebrate Sir Carl, who unfortunately died last year. While we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and memorize a few spells. The most useful ones are going to be these level 3 spells: 1 Fireball, 2 Haste, and 1 Invisibility, 10 Radius. I'm also going to have Ice Storm so that I can use it against things that do not take damage from fire. Resist Fire is also going to be very useful toward the end of the game, and since I have two red mages, they're going to be preparing the same spells. Rest to learn everything. Remember to cast Prayer, Haste, and Invisibility before I leave camp. Because while we're celebrating, suddenly Sir Carl, who died last year, comes back to life. And, well, this game does have an auto battle, which I'm going to just go ahead and use. I'm being attacked by a whole bunch of skeletons, nightmares, but right before the battle started, I casted Haste, invisibility 10 radius, and prayer. Haste allows your characters to move very quickly and get double attacks each round, which makes it by far the most useful buff, and we're going to be using it everywhere. But yeah, Gargath Keep here is now going to be under siege, so we're going to have to do a couple of tasks before we can leave. First things first, we take guard duty, which we can do right outside this temple. I'm going to go ahead and safety save, and then I'm going to cast, since I have 2 mages, I can cast all the same spells again. I go here and I get attacked. Good. I go first. Ice Storm, blow up all these things. There's a cleric and 3 enemy mages there. This game tends to throw a lot of spellcasters at you, and they're very dangerous. You want to get them out of the way as soon as you possibly can. So Ice Storm helps a lot there because if an enemy spellcaster takes damage in a round, then they can't cast any spells. We do have a minor mission here where we're going to help the temple bury the dead. They're very worried because Sir Carl came back to life, even though his tomb was sanctified, and it's probably the fault of Lord Soth, who is a Death Knight that is going to be the primary antagonist of this game. In this graveyard, you normally meet the Dreadwolf, who's going to be kind of a dragon's dragon that hounds you throughout the game. Haha, because he's a Dreadwolf. But we kind of skipped that, and you know what? I forgot to go train, so I'm gonna go do that now. My party just turned purple, which means they can go to a training hall and level up. I can't hold experience for 2 levels because if I do, then I'm going to end up not gaining any more experience until I hit the level up. Let's go ahead and fix rest. I'm going to need to rest a few hours more. I want it to be nighttime here. So in here, we're supposed to talk to the commander of the city and then find out about the Dream Merchant, because we got a stone that needs to be analyzed by the Dream Merchant, but the Dream Merchant gets kidnapped, and I just went straight to the Dream Merchant's place and then skipped a battle because I took some unusual pathing. Anyways, he's been kidnapped, so we're going to go here to meet the kidnappers. Some blue dragons, red dragon. I'm going to listen to him, give them the Dreamstone, and then the Dreadwolf's going to attack again. I probably should have saved before this fight because enemy clerics are very, very scary. Luckily, they did not get any turns. Enemy clerics have a spell called Slay Living, which if you fail your saving throw, you die instantly. And, well, that's pretty bad news because I don't really have a way to raise my characters from the dead. So, but luckily, I got my turn first and they didn't hurt anyone. I did catch my party in my own fireballs, but that's okay because I set the skill level to novice to, just zombie minotaurs? Okay. The overworld has has a possibility of random encounters, and sometimes they can be dangerous. Looks like it's just zombie minotaurs. Oh, there was a patriarch there. Okay. I just killed an enemy cleric. He didn't get anything done. This game is random and dangerous. Anyways, the Dreadwolf's gonna show up again here and try to slow my party down, which is why I'm casting buffs right now. There's a Black Mage here who's not going to be much threat. Black Mages are usually a lot less scary than clerics. Usually they just cast something like Magic Missile. Anyway, so the Dream Merchant managed to get away from his kidnappers, and he's here. And he's going to help us interpret a dream that someone else had. Hold on a sec. I forgot to do something. I need to cast and buff again, because after getting that scary dream, I'm forever waking up from my dreams screaming, and the Dream Merchant will not fix it unless I kill these hounds that have been haunting his dreams. So, buff right before then. These hellhounds aren't very dangerous. There is one Black Mage there. He's gone, so no more threat. This can be a challenging part because it's 3 fights in a row without without any breaks in between them. Luckily, haste will last all 3 fights, so I don't have to cast it between fights, and that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and kill the auto there because my party members aren't smart enough to figure out where this dog is that is hiding behind the wall. Fight. Let's just go ahead and do quick here because I'm still hasted. That black mage will probably get off it. Oh my god, one of my party members went toward the black mage, then on his next turn ran away. The quick AI is not very smart, but it is pretty quick. Anyways, that's 3 battles. All 3 of these guys are done, and the merchant's gonna explain the dream for me, which is that Lord Soth is raising an army of the dead, but I can find his defector by starting at the candle and going through these red doors. I want to go through these sleepy bars during the day because at night they're noisy and I'm prone to running into fights at night, so do during the day. My mages are leveling up and they are learning new spells, but I don't really need any spells apart from the ones that I start with. So this is Sabas. He's the he used to be Lord Soth's second in command, but now he's defecting and wants to help us take out Lord Soth. Save here for safety. Okay, good. He's told us about a plot at the High Clerist's Tower, and we need to stop it because he has a secret for defeating Lord Soth, but he wants to make sure we're worthy before he tells it to us, because otherwise, because if he tells us and we fail, all is lost, or something like that. Oh, turn undead, of course. There are whites in this battle. I don't want them to. Whew, that was close. So I'm taking out those whites. They can drain levels, and I don't really want to have any of my levels drained. Oh, a knight called Durfee joins the party, but I'm going to drop him from the party immediately. He is a higher level knight, and he could be helpful for some combats, but we're not going to get him for the final battle, and for most of the game he would just be sapping experience. I'm going to cast another haste here. Okay, I don't know why I did that, because there's only 2 skeletons. The High Clerist's Tower is a pretty scary part of the game. When I was first learning this, most of my runs died here. Dropping Durfee from the party also made it so that he does not interrupt the party with any dialogue. So this place is pretty long, and there's a lot of skeleton fights here. Hold on. Haste here, because there's a fight right here. I probably should have cast Fireball. Yeah, 1 Fireball. Oh, so you may have noticed earlier that I was willingly catching my own party in Fireballs. I set the skill level to Novice for fewer random encounters, but it also reduces the HP of monsters. So I'm willing to put my own party in Fireballs because, honestly, they do more damage to the bad guys than they do to me. This is... most of the whites didn't... Ooh! One of my fighters got drained. It's not the end of the world if you get drained, but it is pretty bad news. Yeah, that means that one fighter is going to lag behind the rest of the party in levels for the rest of the game. Let's see. You know what? I'll go ahead and try to fix up my party. Good. All right. Yeah, there's a dragon that was in here, and we're trying to stop him from escaping, but he's eventually going to. Uh-oh. Does it not reach? It reaches. Good. But he's eventually going to turn to try to stop us from catching up to him. But he's just 1 dragon, and not much of a threat. Another haste right here. This is going to be an important battle because some items get dropped in this battle. So my fighters are using Mace +1, but they're not going to be wanting to use that all game. Toward the end of the game, there are iron golems. They can only be harmed by +3 weapons or better. So I'm going to need to upgrade my fighters' weapons eventually. So we'll go ahead and take my first fighter up here, give him this short sword. It's a +4 short sword. And I'm also going to go ahead and give that mage the staff sling. It's a +3 staff sling. Closing in on him. I forgot to cast haste beforehand, so I'm going to go ahead and cast it here while I have this guy haste the party. So anyways, what Lord Soth's doing here is raiding the tombs, getting a whole bunch of corpses. He's going to raise a Death Knight army. I need to save here. Fix. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's buff up the party again. No more hastes. It's dangerous to rest here. You very often get interrupted when you try to rest. But with my party buffed up, we should be good. I think I safety saved before this too. Oh, and a knight that was cursed at the beginning of the game is here helping them. Sir Carl, when he appeared, dropped a pile of cursed weapons, and this knight foolishly picked one up. So we're going to go ahead and just wrestle that sword away from him. But then when Lord Soth comes to kill him, we're just going to dodge out of the way and not help. We're heroes, right? Unfortunately, another random encounter of skeleton warriors appeared. This is not a scripted encounter, this one was random, and it's unfortunate because I'm not buffed for this and I don't have any buffs left. But we come here, and Lord Soth gets away with the corpses no matter what we do. You can try to fight him there, but then he just gets right back up, and it's like, ha ha ha, you're no match for me. It's like, you can knock him down, but you can't keep him down, so he's kind of scary that way. And he got away with the corpse of an especially powerful knight. Unfortunately, the name escapes me. Level 10, level 10, level 9. You can see one of my fighters is a level behind. Unfortunate effect of draining, but I can beat the game like this. Anyways, I'm going to go back to Sabas, and he's going to say, you know what, you're not worthy of my secret because you failed to stop him. So go to the Dragon's Den here. Unfortunately, got a random encounter. It's possible for this to happen in Vanguard. Luckily, 2 mages mean I can just fireball the group, especially since... No, I'm not buying a candle. I don't need any candles. Wait, is this... This is where I want to go. Save. Good. Yes. I want to avoid the rivers on the overworld if I can. Blue dragons have a tendency to attack me on the rivers, and they're hard to get to sometimes. Anyways, Sabas tells me about this secret door here, which is going to get me into this tomb. This section has undead dragons that might randomly attack you, so be sure to buff up your party. And I'll go ahead and do a fireball here for good measure because my fighters are not doing very much damage here. Another haste. Haste does not last very long, only a couple of rounds per casting. Oh, and I'm going to find Sir Carl here, and he's like, I'm too busy to deal with you. And also, that is unfortunate. It is... I did get another random encounter here. It's very uncommon to get random encounters here. I almost never do. But I need to rest up here because I'm about to fight the Dreadwolf. He can be tough. If you buff up beforehand, he shouldn't be too much of a problem. But I need to guard here because I don't want... Oh, I probably shouldn't have cast invisibility. So that is really unfortunate. So none of my turning attempts managed to turn any of the whites. They're usually pretty easy to turn. No drains so far. Whoa, stop. Yeah, I don't like autoing here because you have a tendency to have a lone fighter try to take the Dreadwolf by themselves. Yeah, you can see one of my fighters took a lot of damage. Luckily, I was able to fix him up. but you do want to go into this room with full health, because Maya, a silver dragon, finds her lover Sir Carl, and they take each other on. But Sir Carl's got a dragon lance, so he's gonna kill Maya instantly. But she's gonna somehow manage to take Sir Carl with her. So they both die, unfortunately. The Death Dragon wakes up, and the Dragon Lance suddenly crashes back to the Earth. So that's good for us, because the Dragon Lance is the stuff of legends. It's a very powerful weapon. It does count as +3 or better for purposes of fighting golems. So it's nice to have another strong weapon like that. Oops, I bought a candle. Okay, alright, I'll buy a candle. If you use the Dragon Lance to fight a dragon and you hit a dragon, you'll deal damage equal to your current HP. It's very powerful, and my earliest routes actually had me duping the weapon, but you actually don't need to dupe the weapon. I'm just gonna do other things instead. Okay, speaking of other things, there's an encounter in here because Sabas is no longer here. He's been abducted. And instead, there are some Civac Draconians and trying to. I don't need. Yeah, there are some Civac Draconians here. Civac Draconians are made from corrupted dragon eggs. They're shapeshifters and strong warriors, except since this is the second game in the series, they're not really powerful enough to be a threat to your fighters anymore. So in story, they're scary, but aha. Copy protection. You save too often, the copy protection pops up. But gotta be marathon safe. Anyways, Civacs are kind of scary in story, but they're wimps in combat. Or at least they are now. So in Sabas's hideout, I found an item implicating one of the people in this office as being evil. And, well, she's going to fight us. I buffed the party beforehand. There's a large group here. Hit him with a fireball. Fireball's a very useful spell. And now the wizard's dead, so it's not nearly so important to fireball everything anymore. And that's it. But it turns out the evil person here is a red dragon. My guy with the dragon lance didn't even get to go. However, we didn't find Sabas here, and so we're gonna hear a cry somewhere to the southwest. There's gonna be a battle in the shopping district here that I'm preparing for. Another fireball is gonna be used here. Did I remember the longsword after the Civac fight? No, I did not. Thank you, Montana Cake Eater. Montana Cake Eater has been helping to route this game. No, I don't want to go train. Okay, so that means I'm gonna have to do a bit of a safety thing. Either that, or do something else. Okay, so this is Dulcimer. It's an undead town. I've been told I can find the Rod of Omniscience here. But there's a lich running the town, and I have to kill him before I can go into the forest. And let's see. And, well, he's pretty mad that I'm not doing what he told me to do. So he's going to attack me with a whole bunch of stuff. So I can take him down easy, but he's still a threat because liches have phylacteries that allow him to come back to life. His phylactery's right here. And I think if the lich is dead, then there is a sword here. Yes, okay. That is a +4 sword. So when the Civacs attacked me in Sabas's hideout, they had a longsword +3 that I normally grab, but I forgot to. Okay, actually I need to go back to Dulcimer and rest. Okay, there's a voice wood here. No evil may be here. Okay. But except there is evil here. A wizard here who's probably not going to be much of a threat. He's got a bunch of whites and zombie giants with him. A lot of things to remember, yeah. Alright, let's do another fireball because these zombie giants, there's a lot of them. They're not really much of a threat. They give hardly any experience. Unfortunately, my cleric's gonna try and turn it. Stop trying to turn it, you. Ouch, the trees are hurting me here. Move through here peacefully. Since I moved through here peacefully and I agreed to fight Lord Soth, they gave me the Rod of Omniscience. And that's what I'm gonna need to beat him. So I'm gonna be on my way to the final dungeon very shortly. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and train all my characters one last time and make sure they rest up for it, because they're gonna need the rest. The final dungeon can be pretty scary sometimes. Need to go ahead and train. Whoa, did somebody get drained again? Okay, that's alright. Alright, so Dargard Keep is the final dungeon, and you did... Oops. You did get a password that will get you in through the front entrance, but you also found a key that can get you into a secret passage into the back. And that secret passage happens to be here in Cerberus's graveyard. My party took a little damage. And this is going to get you into the back of floor 1. A woman named Lenore is going to try to join your party, but she's actually Kitriara, and she's a bad guy. You don't want her around. If Durfee was still in your party at this point, then he would leave with Kitriara to try to escort her home, and then he would die. Ice Storm here. This is what I want. That did not do very much damage. Specters and vampires can both drain your party. They're a little scary. But yeah, we're on floor 2 now. Yeah, Lord Soth is in here somewhere with his army he's trying to raise. This is going to be our first appearance of Death Knights. Death Knights of Krynn. Ooh. Okay, good. I took him out before he could do anything, but Death Knights are without a doubt the scariest enemy in this game, because they have a fear ability, they have fireballs, they're just really heckin' bad news. They're gonna hurt a lot. We've got flesh golems here. They're pretty easy to deal with. Large wooden lever here. Oh, use these cells often in order to rest, because they're like the only safe place to rest in Dargard, and you really want to get as much rest as possible. You don't like going into battles weakened. The vampires, the specters, the death knights, bad news. Rest here again. There's going to be a fairly big battle in this room. In fact, I'll go ahead and cast these resist fires now, just because there is a death knight. There's also a whole lot of clerics, and the death knight went down quick. It's really nice hasting the party. Do I rest? Yeah, there's 2 battles on the 3rd floor. I'll rest. That should be the last regular encounter of... Sorry, the last scripted encounter of floor 2. Yeah, this is floor 3. You get a series of 3 doors. Choose one. Only one leads to safety. The pattern goes left, middle, left. And then you're going to find Kichiara here again, claiming that Durfee was attacked by undead, even though he was not part of the party. Oh, there's 2 statues here. You can fight them now. They're they're golems, but just move on and go through, and then you're gonna find an undead Durfee right here. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to fight to kill your former friend. And luckily, everybody in the party has a +3 or better weapon except for one mage. But after that point, hold on. I'm going to safety save here because this is where Lord Soth is. Final battle incoming. Resist fire on the whole party, buff him up. And you know what? Let's go ahead and use that Cure Serious Wounds spell. Good, everyone's ready? Alright. 5 Death Knights. Oh boy. One of my fighters is terrified now. And yeah, you're going to see that these Death Knights love using... 2 of my fighters are terrified. Wait, can I cast Dispel Magic on that? Okay, let's try a Dispel Magic. I prepared that for a reason. Dispel Magic. And you do it... This guy. Okay, wait, no, I didn't want to do quick there. Okay, you can do quick. Unfortunately, Dispel Magic seems... Okay, I let my mage die. Well, he's not dead. He's unconscious. This fight... I'm going to restart this fight. That fight almost never goes that poorly. And I did safety save right beforehand. Did I... Okay, I didn't safety save the buffs. That's alright, though. I will fix that. Okay, good. Prayer, haste, invisibility. Let's save that and then go. Okay, better. Okay, they're starting with fireballs this time. He's terrified. This is going a lot more poorly than it usually does, and I'm not sure why. Okay, good. The Death Knights are down. Now we just gotta take on the Iron Golems, which, ow. They're actually kind of tough. And the party fled! Okay, try again. That is by far the worst that fight has ever gone for me. It's kind of amazing, actually, to see. I didn't know that was possible. You just go ahead. Okay, good. Maybe this will go a little better. Let's go ahead and quick this down, take all those Iron Golems out. Boom, boom. We win this battle, we're good. Okay, time's coming up. I used the Rod of Omniscience on Lord Soth to defeat him, and time. We call time on getting control back. Okay, good. There we go. Yeah. That last battle is actually scary. It almost never goes that poorly, but well, it went pretty poorly this time, so good thing I saved, huh? Oh, how old are my characters? Anyone have any guesses? Let's take a look. 47, 45, 45, 379, 379. So my character's aged about 29 years doing this one. All right. Alright, this game is still playable afterward. You can go back out to the overworld. You could probably do some of the side quests that you missed. And after you've beaten Lord Soths, there's something called Dave's Challenge up here. I'm not gonna bother doing that. But that's it for the game. Thank you for having me, everyone. I actually routed this game out just a few weeks ago, so this is the first time it's ever been in a marathon. I have never done Dave's Challenge before, and I'm not gonna try. So anyways, thanks for having me, and see y'all later.